They branded her a thief before she ever had a chance to speak, and the word spread through the town of Red Willow faster than prairie, fire under a hard wind. Her name was Eliza May Carter, and she stood in the center of the dusty street with her wrists bound, her dress torn at the hem, her dark hair loose from its pin as if the town itself had reached out and shaken her, until the truth fell from her pockets. The sheriff read the accusation, aloud, silver coins missing from the Crosswell ranch, valuables gone from the main house, and a witness who claimed to have seen her near the master bedroom at dusk. No one asked why she had been there. No one asked why a woman who had scrubbed floors, mended shirts and slept in the servants' quarters for 3 honest years would suddenly risk everything for a handful of silver. The town only saw what it wanted to see, a poor woman, an easy target, and a story that fit too neatly to question. And watching from the porch of his own house was Caleb Crosswell, the cowboy whose name the ranch carried, whose reputation for fairness and strength had earned respect from every mile of open land around them. He didn't speak, not yet. He simply watched as the woman, who had once thanked him for hiring her, was dragged away under the weight of a lie that settled heavy in his chest, even if he didn't yet know why. Eliza remembered every face as they passed her by. Mrs. Harlan, who once borrowed sugar from her. Old Pete, who accepted her coffee every morning without complaint. Even the children who waved at her on Sundays now stared as if she were already a ghost. Shame clung to her skin worse than the dust, and though her mouth opened once, just once, to deny it, the sheriff's hand came down hard and told her to save her breath for the cell. In Red Willow, justice didn't wait for truth. It waited for convenience. And Eliza was convenient. As the iron door slammed shut behind her, she sank to the cold floor and pressed her forehead to her knees, whispering a promise to herself that even if no one else believed her, she would survive long enough for the truth to breathe again. Back at the Crosswell house, silence followed Caleb like a shadow. The ranch felt wrong without Eliza moving through it, without the quiet order she kept, the steady rhythm of work that made the place feel lived in rather than merely owned. Caleb told himself he was bothered only because theft was an insult to his name, because disorder gnawed at him the way an untended fence did. But when he sat alone at the dinner table and saw the empty chair where Eliza usually ate after everyone else had finished, something tightened in his chest. That night, sleep refused him. He rose before dawn and walked the halls of his own house, lantern in hand, replaying the accusation again and again. And that was when he noticed something small but unsettling. A loose floorboard near his study, one that hadn't been there before. Beneath it, the dust was disturbed. Too disturbed for a servant who barely owned a spare coin. As days passed, more things felt wrong. Items Caleb swore had been accounted for appeared again in strange places, as if someone were moving them just to remind him they could. The ledger didn't add up. Locks showed no sign of forced entry, and the witness who claimed to have seen Eliza near the bedroom suddenly avoided Caleb's eyes whenever their paths crossed. Doubt, once planted, grew wild. Caleb began to look not outward, but inward at the people who shared his roof, ate at his table, and knew the house as well as he did. And slowly, the idea took shape like a dark figure at the edge of lamplight. If Eliza wasn't the thief, then the real one hadn't just passed through his home. They were hiding in it. Meanwhile, Eliza endured the cold, the whispers, and the certainty that her name would never be clean again. Each night, she stared at the narrow strip of sky above the jail window and wondered how easily a life could be erased by a lie. Yet even in the darkness, a spark remained. Because lies, she knew, always left fingerprints, and somewhere, someone would eventually notice them. If you're still listening to this story, remember this moment, because what comes next proves that truth has a way of forcing doors open. And if stories like this stir something in you, don't forget to subscribe, because the second chapter changes everything.